Today we have the privilege to have the attorney who is representing the mother and the daughter in the case, and that's the Señor Trejo. So please, sir.
It's an honor to be here before you today in support of my clients, Teresa and her children. Standing to my sides are the aunts or tias of Teresa, who I've grown very close to, Marta and Linda. This case is not merely a case for me, but it has turned into a labor of love. Also behind me, it is an honor and a great privilege to have so many students from Eastern Washington University, from the Mecha organization, el Movimiento Estudiantil Chicanos de Aztlán, who have come together to put on this lovely rally today in honor of Antonio Zambrano, as well as the individuals such as Gabriel Portugal, a Hispanic advocate here in the community, members of Consejo Latino, David Brookbank from the Spokane Social Alternatives, David and Marta Cortinas from La Voz Hispanic newspaper, One America, and a number of other prominent individuals from the city of Pasco and Franklin County. It's not only an honor to be here, but it's a time for the city of Pasco and Franklin County. Disheartening because we are dealing with the loss of a life of Antonio Zambrano, a man who is loved by his family, a man who, until he broke both of his wrists shortly before he was murdered, worked as a farm laborer and was truly a hard-working individual. Now we are gathered all here together, and many more here in the community, fighting for justice for Antonio Zambrano. We are fighting together as a community. We are fighting together so that not only does the Zambrano family not suffer injustices, but that all the Hispanic people, all the citizens of this county not suffer the same type of injustices that occurred in this case. In terms of Hispanic people, let us not forget that Franklin County, not the city, but the county itself, is comprised of over 70% Latinos. We have a voice in this community. We simply need this voice to be heard, and Antonio Zambrano will help us make sure that our voice is heard now and in the future. We have been let down tremendously by our elected officials, and quite frankly, they have lacked the intestinal fortitude to do what is right in this case. It is time for us to put pressure on those in charge. It is time for us to demand change. It is time for us to demand justice from those who are in power. It is time for those who killed Antonio Zambrano to be brought to justice. Yeah. It did not take much time for the prosecutor in Charleston, South Carolina to charge the killer police officer with murder.
That's right.
The officer shot 8 times, 4 African American and 5 times in the back. We cannot forget the history of South Carolina, a state that back in the day was a powerful Ku Klux Klan state. Now, to its credit, South Carolina passed a law at the turn of the century calling the KKK a terrorist organization. And they immediately charged that cop with murder. They immediately fired him from his position. And here we are, more than 2 months later, and what has happened to the 3 cops in this case?
Paid vacation. Paid vacation.
Paid vacation. Nothing. Let's have an inquest. Why? There's no need for an inquest in this case. The video speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are cold-blooded killers, and we don't have a prosecuting attorney with the intestinal fortitude to do what is right, to charge all 3 of his police officers with murder, and to let a jury of their peers decide what degree of homicide they are guilty with. So here in Franklin County, Washington, we have a Mexican man, Antonio Zambrano, chased down a street and a sidewalk in Pasco, shot at wildly 17 times. So wildly that a bullet went into a window of a service station, not where near where he was standing or crossing the street, where a woman was working inside, nearly killing that woman. But again, no police officer has yet to be charged. Is there a cover-up going on in this case?
I believe so. Yeah.
There certainly is evidence to suggest it. At the very first briefing by the so-called special investigations, we were told by Sergeant Ken Layton that without a doubt the officers did not shoot Antonio in the back. That nowhere in the back of Antonio's body did they find a single bullet.
Liars. It's a lie. Lie.
Liars!
Pants on fire.
The subsequent autopsy that was done outside of this county clearly established 2 bullet wounds to the back. 2 bullet wounds to the back and at least 5 more to the front. So what does that show you? That as he was running away, he got shot twice in the back, stopped, and as he turned, giving up, they unloaded and shot 5 more to his front torso, killing him coldly on the sidewalk here in Pasco. Straight out murder. A conspiracy full of lies. there, all in the proof. It's time for a change in this community. It's time for a change in our prosecutor.
Yeah.
It's time for a change in our mayor.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And, as you just said, it's time for a change in our governor.
Yeah.
And it's a time for a change in our liaison to the governor, the head of the Commission on Hispanic Affairs.
Yep.
We've reached out to our so-called Democratic Governor, Jay Inslee, for intervention twice. Retired Colonel Felix Vargas wrote him a letter wrote Governor Inslee a letter asking him for a special investigation or for the appointment of a special prosecutor. Governor Inslee denied the request. I wrote a letter outlining all the legal reasons why a special prosecutor should be appointed. Governor Inslee did not even take the time to respond. He had one of his attorneys write me a one-paragraph letter back saying he doesn't think so at this time, but that he'll continue to monitor the situation. Monitor the situation. Has anyone ever even seen Governor Inslee over here in this county to inquire what's going on?
No.
Does he even care?
No.
What he cared about back in the day was making money off of Hispanics. Back in the day when he was a trial attorney in Sila with the law firm of Peters, Fowlers, and Inslee, representing injured Hispanics and Hispanics who were killed, and having an associate who was Hispanic, building his coffers with money so that one day he could make a political run, and that's precisely what he did. But now when he's called upon by the Hispanic community, he simply turns the other way. And like I told him in the letter I wrote to him, shame on you. Shame on you. That's right. Then he's attempting to appease the community by sending the head of the Washington State Commission on Hispanic Affairs yesterday, Mr. Uriel Iniguez. I haven't seen him around today, and maybe some of you saw him here yesterday at the bakery. And if you did, that's about as far as you saw him, hiding inside the bakery, because he was not out protesting with the people. He was not out demonstrating with the people. He was not out laying on the street with me, with all the people.
That's right.
He was not out marching the crosswalks with the people. Where was he the entire time? Hiding inside the bakery. And interestingly enough, who was he hiding inside with?
One of the council members.
That's right. The mayor's crony, who was sent there as the mayor's representative, who did nothing, hiding inside the bakery. And the two of them said, this is getting a little too radical for us, we better just leave. And they left after a little while. But Mr. Iniguez is supposed to be our representative, our liaison to the governor.
That's your voice for the Hispanic community right
I don't think so. He's not our voice.
now.
Nope. It's a sad day in hell when the best thing our Hispanic representative from Olympia can do is hide out in a bakery. We're here to rally this afternoon in support of Antonio Zambrano. But let's not forget, the best way to rally, to affect change, is to place pressure upon those in charge. To put their political position in a quandary. Don't forget the power that we have, the votes that we have that can put them at worry. Keep the pressure on the people in power. Keep attempting to make them do what is right. When election time comes around, don't fall for their damn free food. Say, here you go. Here's some free hot dogs, hamburgers, and tacos. Now vote for me. Make them be specific. What will you be doing for our community? God bless all of you for coming out. God bless Antonio's family. And God bless Antonio's soul. Amen.
No es justo. No es justo. No es justo. No es justo. No es justo.